I played at Lifetime, which is, it's a gym. I was banned for life
No way.
from Lifetime.
What were you just talking?
I was just talking.
I
have this issue with me where like the moment it starts getting competitive, I have like this switch I cannot turn off.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
But with that switch comes the mouth.
So we thought, hey, why don't we shoot some content with our good friend Jermaine from Good Rancher. Jermaine, what's up?
Jermaine, what's up? There he is. Welcome to it.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and bring in the former Michigan standout quarterback and my good friend David
Thank you for putting
Cone.
standout in there. Thank you.
Listen, you're a standout guy and a stand-up guy, and that's what's most important.
Not a stand-up comedian.
And then my brother.
My cool intro.
And then my brother, who's a great guy. A lot of people former Western State, Colorado wide receiver Blaine Crane. This man has more hands than Inspector Gadget. But there you go. See, I saved it. But Jermaine, I've just got to start. But before we hop into it, you guys are prevalent in the racing world now.
We are. Yep.
Got a dub already.
Yep.
Down at Barber, Blaine was there. You guys are batting 1,000 when Blaine.
I mean, we're 1 for 1 in the playoffs with a tank.
I mean, it's feeling good.
Come on, we're
Making the fastball coming
We keep inviting him back.
Look, I'm coming. Look, I'm coming.
Now that football season is winding down, there's probably a lot
of time to do
chance.
something.
We need to get up there too. I almost don't want to mess up your guys' mojo. But before we get into that, because I want to ask you like what sparked y'all's interest in it, and it's obviously worked out beautifully for you guys. But I have to tell you, Good Ranchers has totally taken over our kitchen in the best way possible.
Same.
I mean, it's just a fantastic product.
Oh, yeah, no, we just wanted to thank you in person.
For sure.
For
no
sponsoring
problem.
our show. I mean, obviously, it's steak, right? So we're guys, like a lot of our listeners are guys, like everybody loves steak, but it's so much more than that. It's like, you guys actually stand up for great values, not just where you source the meat and stuff, but, the character of the sponsors that you have and everything like that. It really means a lot to us. And it's kind of a shame to see this, like, national or international push really to like devalue meat, and I really don't understand where that's coming from.
Yeah, so when Ben and Corley Spell, when they started the company about 5 years ago, they had just had their first kid, and they were starting to get to that place where like, what are we going to feed our kids? And so they really start with the idea that we would never sell anything that they wouldn't feed their own family, and they feed their own family with Good Ranchers. I feed my family. It's the only proteins we bring into our house is Good Ranchers meat. So it started off as a family business and a family focus, and so we've expanded beyond that. What we've realized a lot in the agriculture space is that they've started importing a lot of beef and pork into the U.S. from other countries, which just don't have the same standards and quality.
Yeah.
And so with Good Ranchers, we really tried to provide a business or place where you can go and get great quality meat with great quality people, and just reconnecting the American family to the American rancher.
Yes.
We made a promise when we started that we would only source 100% American-born, raised, and harvested in the U.S. And
that's
I think
huge.
that statement right there. I mean, one, it's an actual claim that has to be verified by the USDA, but it means that like we're like standing behind what we say.
For sure,
right?
and you're keeping the money.
We're keeping the money in the country.
Yeah.
And the U.S. has the highest standards when it comes to agriculture, when it comes to raising cattle, chicken, pork, all of those. So we're leaning into our, the backbone of the country is our agriculture system. And I think a lot of times people don't give enough credence and credit to the American farmers and ranchers out there. And so that's one of the things we want to do. We don't just want to provide you with great meat, but we want to bring awareness to the U.S. agriculture
And
system.
thank you, because it's not lost on people like our family. I have two young children, about to have a third. We're having these serious conversations about what are we going to put, not just in our bodies, but in our children's bodies in the most crucial time in their life when we're trying to raise them up.
We really appreciate that, but I got to ask you, man, what you guys are doing in the racing world? You already got the one win under your belt in the IndyCar series at Barber, which was fantastic. What kind of got y'all thinking to do that? Then you jump in and you have this instant success. I mean, it's like everything you guys touch turns to gold.
Yeah, we try. No, we were really looking for an area that, or like a sports. We love sports at Good Ranchers. We're big sports guys, and we were looking for a way that could kind of like that fit our demographic of our current customer base. And racing is definitely the look. They look like our customers, and they just hadn't heard of Good Ranchers yet. And so whatever we do, we always want to try to do it to our best. So we went and found the best racing team we could, which is Team Penske out there. So they have more wins than any other.
That's top. That's
top of the line, right? And it's so crazy. It's the funniest story. We connect with some guys that were at Team Penske. They invited us to go to a race 2 years ago, and we didn't really know what we were like getting into, right? So we go watch this Long Beach, California. We go watch a race. It's cool. One of the Penske driver, Joseph Newgarden, ends up winning the race, and the guy that we had been hanging out with says, "Hey, you want to, like, the Masters is finishing. Let's go grab an ice cream." They eat a ton of ice cream at Penske, and he's like, "Let's grab an ice cream. Let's go back to the trailer and watch the end of the Masters." So I'm sitting in this trailer with my feet up, and there's the trophy that Joseph Newgarden just won was sitting right here. This was 2 years ago. Eating an ice cream.
King of the castle.
And watching the Masters. We didn't realize that the guy that had been walking us around is the president of the racing team. This guy calls the races. I mean, he's like the head. And we're actually sitting in Roger Penske's, he started Penske.
Yeah.
We're sitting in his trailer. We finished watching the Masters, and we were hooked ever since.
That's legend. That's a great start. I don't even know how you beat that.
Yeah.
I just want to know, is this guy the good luck charm over here?
I mean,
like, tell me about it.
Yeah,
I want to know all
we
about
have one win, and he was there, which I'm telling you, if you're not a racing fan or if you consider getting into racing, go back and watch this year's Barber race.
Oh my goodness, it was amazing.
Well, that's all he would talk about for a couple weeks.
Yeah, so we were looking for something that's fun and exciting, and IndyCar is definitely fun and exciting. It's, a lot of people are like big F1, Formula One race fans. IndyCar, they're both open wheel, meaning that, it's not the covered. They have a higher top speed than NASCAR. They do turns a lot faster, but the difference with IndyCar is there's like 3 times the amount of passes that happens. They actually have this thing called a push to pass button. It injects about 60 more horsepower in the engine and there's all these rules, like you have to be within a certain distance. So the sport is actually wanting to increase the amount of action that happens. Whereas like Formula One, man, as much as you like Max Verstappen, it's a boring race when the guy wins.
He wins every time. That's why I told him they should just call it F3 because only 3 guys win the race.
Exactly, right?
That's really, every time I just look at him like, did Max win? Did Leclerc win? But you're talking about adding the juice to it. It just reminds me like on one of the 13 Fast and the Furious movies when Vin Diesel like hits the nitrous and then goes.
It's about family.
I love it. That's exactly.
How have they not been arrested?
How the cops never caught these guys?
They got that push to pass, man.
Yeah, I guess.
But that's one thing. Diplomatic immunity.
Because I've been around sports my entire life, and I haven't been around anything racing wise. But the one thing that surprised me when I went to this race is that first of all, these cars are amazing. Yeah. I got to see with the hood off. I got to explain to the in-depth that goes into the strategies of winning races is insane. From y'all switching tires. I remember this one thing I go back, there's different colored tires.
Yep.
And that's one of the reasons y'all won this race because the tire decision y'all made at the end is that the ones with the red tires with the loop on it, the better traction.
So the red tire, it's like a softer tire, so you go faster, but you wear through it quicker.
Yeah.
And there's a white tire it's a little bit of a harder tire, so you don't go as fast, but you last longer.
It's almost down to every little nuance.
For sure.
Yeah.
That makes you.
It's at one of the highest levels.
The in-depthness to racing, especially this will blow you. That's the one thing that struck me when I got there. I thought, well, who has the fastest engine?
Then I definitely got to come to
who's the best driver, this and that. But I got toured around. They explained to me the ins and outs of winning races.
Yeah,
would blow.
See, I want to know what I'm looking at.
Your mind.
Yeah, it's cool. So and this is one of the awesome things about the sport that we've kind of learned is how fan friendly it is. Like you get to walk around and you're like seeing them work on the cars in between. Whether it's whether it's a testing run or they were doing their trials, and then you get to watch them where they're working on it. They're kind of making little tweaks. We were actually we were at the Indy 500.
Yeah.
Which we invited you guys. Y'all were not able to make it.
We weren't. And I was.
It's fine. It's okay. We'll cancel your next order.
No.
All right, cut the interview.
Yeah. And so our driver Scotty, who's the race's number 3 car, he didn't win, but another Team Penske driver, Joseph Newgarden, who'd been racing for, I think, 10 years, finally won.
Yeah.
And they got all the partners got to go down. And it was the most, I'm telling you, I've been to
We'll be at the next one.
Yeah, you got to be. One of the most amazing sporting events I've ever, just events in general.
Yeah.
Like there's so much of history there and the pomp and circumstance. I mean, it's just amazing. They have this flyover that happens and it's killer. But for this, it's so crazy. For Joseph Newgarden, a Team Penske guy, to win his first one, and just to see the excitement in the face, we got to take it's a cool, so we got to take a picture. He has this, they give you a hat. It says like Indy 500 winner hat. He took a picture with it, and then all the sponsors got to go take a picture with him.
That's badass.
And he switches hats, and Ben, who's founder of Good Ranchers, is standing right next to him. And I don't think he realized who he was handing the hat to. He takes his hat off. Very first hat he put on when he won, right?
Yeah.
Takes his hat off, hands it to Ben.
That's dope.
Then you and Ben, if I'm not wrong, y'all led out on the race in the car.
Yeah. So at Barber, we were in the pace car, which, dude, this pace car driver, you think like, hey, you're just going out there, you're just kind of setting the pace, you're not going too fast. This dude was like flooring it. I'm like, bro, you're not in the race. Like, calm down.
Yeah, it's like, you're not. Guess what? You have to win.
I was worried watching them. Well, they told us before the race.
Well, so you guys get into racing, you're in the pace car, and then you win it.
Yeah, dude, it was nuts. I'm telling you, there was. If I wasn't a race fan at that point, I had no other option too, because it is completely different to see, the company you work for, the giant logo on the side of the car. It's your very first race. We've invested all of this, into it. We brought the whole staff, or we put the whole staff in a big bus, and we drove down to Birmingham, Alabama, where Barber is at, and then we win it all. And it is just like, no, it was crazy too, because you could hear we were in this open section with a bunch of different fans, and by probably 10 laps down, now everybody is cheering. Yeah, because we're all in our logo gear and we're having a blast, and it was so amazing. It was a great time. It's so funny story. Like, so our driver is from New Zealand, and so over in Australia, they do this thing called a shoey, and so when you win, you take your shoe off,
pour beer in it,
and you drink.
Das
Boot, right? Yeah. So for whatever reason, I was calling it a booty, right? And so
that's it. They do that in Belgium.
Yeah. So like before the race, we've been for a couple weeks I've been calling it a booty for nobody's corrected me, and so we meet the driver before the race, and we're kind of joking, and I'm like, dude, if you win, we're gonna do a booty together, and he's like, mate, my Australian accent's terrible. He's like, mate, if I win, I don't know what you're gonna do.
That's exactly.
He's like, but it's called a shoey.
Shoey, yeah.
He's like, and I like the champagne.
Thank God.
Hey, well, we can blame everybody who didn't tell you the correct way.
That's
exactly right.
So we win the race. We go down. We're all down there in the winner's circle, and he's doing some pictures, and then he takes this giant bottle of champagne and jumps off the stage and just runs. And I'm telling you, he looks me right in the eyeball, and he just kind of laughs and just shoots
Just
like,
hits you?
Yeah, with all this champagne.
Man, this sounds like
I was
all the way
there.
back. Yeah.
I was there. I became a racing fan that day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got it. Well,
And the turnout,
Yeah.
the amount of people that were at this race would blow your mind.
Yeah. So what's really cool too is like all of the they have all these people that are commenters and predict just like football and basketball and stuff. So they're predicting that our driver Scotty Mack is probably going to win next year. So his and it's crazy because there's 3 types of races. There's a oval, there's a street course, which is like here in Nashville, and then there's a road course, which is there's lots of turns. It's like a street course, but it's an actual racetrack, right?
Yeah.
Scotty, our driver, he's never really, because in New Zealand, Australia, there's no oval courses, so he's never been really great at doing oval course because he's never had to do it in his career. He's gotten a lot better. He got a lot better this year. I think he finished 3rd at one of the races. And so as he's developing, that's the one piece of his game that he's getting better at. So we really think he's probably going to win the whole thing.
Well, I would rather, and again, I'm just learning about it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know a ton about it. But I feel like I would much rather have to learn to do the oval than have to go learn to do like a street course where it's not, I feel like
You got to learn to dribble with your left, man.
for sure. But I feel like that would almost be an easier transition than vice versa. But again, I go about 5 miles over the speed limit, typically at the most. So I may not be the one to ask. But I did want to bring up, you guys are doing a carnivore challenge.
Yeah,
in
January. We're going to do it with all of our staff. We're going to document it. But anybody out there that wants to do it with us, we're going to ask all of our customers or people that want to. Y'all guys should.
I'm down to do it.
So
I'm in to do
January,
it.
carnivore.
January.
Meat only.
Meat only. So we're going to do.
Yes.
All right, Jermaine,
Yeah,
seal
dude.
this one.
Bro,
We gotta
let's
seal
go.
this one.
I'm
Yep,
good.
Here we go.
So
Garcon?
you have to take a picture with your shirt off first.
Good.
I'm just kidding. You can keep.
Oh, well, now.
Oh man, well I'm not.
That was the most
gonna-
exciting part.
They
Yeah.
made me put a shirt on when I got in.
I thought maybe we could get Senior Bowl just go anywhere.
Yeah, so like with the carnivore diet, there's like a ton of advantages. So it's obviously there's like a weight loss part of it, but there's mental clarity, health reasons. You get better sleep. All these kind of studies that have shown like going to like a pure carnivore diet is the way to do. So we decided in staff kind of put our money where our mouth is, right?
I love it.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, and let's do it. So we're gonna do it all as staff. We're gonna be documenting it. sounds like you guys are going to do it.
All January, I'm in.
Yeah, you're going to have me
in.
back on when I'm all leaned out.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, for sure. Well, we're just gonna all just be doing push-ups and lifting dumbbells the whole
like
time
it.
doing the
Yeah.
interview.
Good Ranchers math and push-ups.
We're just gonna look like the Gronkowski brothers. That's what's gonna happen.
100%.
Let's not joke here.
Nice.
But Blaine, quickly, we do gotta have you
Oh.
tell Jermaine the story of your Achilles. You and
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins, man, it's just a tough.
Yeah, a lot of professional football players are trying to be like me.
Yeah.
These days, this includes Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins and one of the D linemen from the Dolphins. I can't remember. But it's one of those things. Like I still push the limits when it comes to sports. So that's
Yeah.
like intramural softball.
Well, we know John Brinkus too.
And so I was playing intramural softball, and it's one of those things where I thought it was going to be my knee.
Yeah.
Feeling some tension in the knee. If anything's going to go, it's going to be the knee. So I get invited one day to go play an intramural flag football game.
Okay.
Which obviously I'm going to go. Anytime I can get close enough to a football, I'm going to go play it. So we get in there, but I think second drive. We're down 2-0, I think. I don't know how it got to that point.
Is that the
But I caught, that's the score. I caught a fade ball against a kid. He was a nice-sized kid. I think 5'9", 5'10". I think he played at a JUCO somewhere.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Blaine knows his whole body.
Caught a fade
He's
ball.
allergic to beats.
Caught a fade ball, let him know about it. Then, the next play, I get up to the line of scrimmage, the ball gets snapped.
Bang.
And I immediately, it's like a little, like a gun goes off, right? You can hear it in your head. I feel it pop, my Achilles, and it begins to roll up my thigh, and I let off a bunch of cuss words in front of about 13, 7-year-olds.
Well,
which was good.
Well, I
Then I had to wait for 2 hours. My
No. I'm eating dinner with my wife. It was date night with
Yeah.
the wife, and I get a call, and it's from a number that is not his, and somehow I just decided to answer it. And he was like speaking in like tongues, like snake. He was like, whatever. So then I go pick him up, drive like 20 minutes. I go pick him up, take him to the hospital.
Yeah.
And he's in the back, like chanting mute songs I've never
Yeah.
heard. He was
Were
like,
you trying to, like, conjure
I was
yeah.
summoning the evil spirits
were
out of
trying
my
to-
body.
It was the most weird 15 minutes of my life. But look, you're on the
So,
look.
where you really did tear your Achilles
Dude,
playing
ruptured.
basketball?
Oh,
I mean,
it was like
football?
Ruptured.
Yeah, that's
it was bad when I went to, they were doing the ultrasound on my,
Found out he was pregnant.
my Achilles is pregnant. But he looked at it and the doctor's like, oh God, you did do a number to this. I was like, oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Nathan."
it's bad when the doctor's like, oh my
Is
God.
that Dr. Nick?
Yeah.
Dude,
Nick, he's like,
I,
you did a number to this one. I was like, yeah, Nick,
This is the worst I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
Nick, I felt it.
Yeah. my wife is like banned me from, well, she can't really ban me because I love playing basketball. I play.
Well, I'm married too.
Yeah,
She banned you.
Yeah, she did. So I have hurt myself probably 6 times playing basketball, like severe. Like I have torn every ligament in my left ankle twice.
Jermaine,
Yeah.
in the Lady Ballers movie that we filmed, like people only see like the couple of scenes of like us on the court, but we're having to do that for hours. And you know how it is. Obviously, you play basketball. That's not just something you can just pick up and go play for 2.5 hours if you're playing like legitimate basketball and just be in shape and fine. I was so sore the first couple weeks
Oh, yeah.
after we get done
Oh, yeah.
playing.
And we lost a bunch of weight for that.
Yeah.
Thanks to Good Ranch.
Yeah,
There we
for
go,
sure.
man.
And
Yeah.
It was steak and eggs for like 10
that's
weeks.
exactly
for me.
right. My own version of the carnivore diet.
The real question is my intramural career over?
It's over.
No,
it's
I mean,
over.
Dude,
I
don't
go
let
back,
that-
right?
you gonna let that finish
I go
yours?
back, right?
Aaron
Well, call
Rodgers-
somebody
Aaron
else.
Rodgers is
Medically
about to
cleared.
come back. You're good.
That's what I'm saying. I'm ahead
so-
of schedule.
Yeah,
I'm ahead of Aaron Rodgers.
So I've torn my all the ligaments in my left ankle twice.
God.
I dislocated my shoulder like 30 times.
I feel that.
Yeah, I've pulled my hamstring like feeling like you got shot by a like.
Oh,
like,
dude.
and then I tore my bicep playing
Are
basketball.
you fighting crime? Are you
Yeah,
Bruce
yeah,
Wayne?
I am.
Who are you playing basketball against?
Yeah. Against a bunch of 5'10".
Same guy.
So
Same
and then this is the craziest one. I played at Lifetime, which is it's a gym. They're all over, but
Playing curbs.
Yeah, so I ended up getting kicked out. Like I was banned for life
No way.
from Lifetime.
What were you just
Yeah, I was just talking,
I
and then
love it.
I have this part issue with me where like I can like. And me and Ben used to play all the time, and he'd always be like, "Hey, bro, like just take it slow, don't get hurt. We got jobs to go to." And I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." And then the moment it starts getting competitive, I have like this switch I cannot turn
Like
off.
I don't think that's a bad thing. though.
Yeah,
It's a good thing.
Like I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think too many people don't have that.
Yeah.
switch.
Yeah.
But with that switch comes the mouth. And
Yeah.
so I'm
Oh,
running
I
my
know.
mouth, and they brought the manager came over, and I'm all heated, right? Because like you're in the throes of competition.
For sure. We've all been
I had
there.
just smoked this 3 to like win the game.
Oh.
So this dude's like coming over here like, hey, so you need to calm down. I'm like, nah, bro, you need to calm down.
So
Like,
you need to play some defense, dog.
Yeah.
You need to get higher goals.
yeah. And so the manager says, hey, we get done. I go back downstairs. The general manager's waiting there, and he's like, hey, man, dude, we love having you here. We got some questions we want to ask. You're gonna get a call from corporate later about your membership. But he like played it off like it was cool, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
It's like, we get it.
yeah, sure.
We're guys.
Yeah, we're
This
good.
guy's been
no
doing
big deal.
guy stuff.
Yeah. He's like, they're just gonna ask you a couple questions. It's no big deal. Nothing to worry about. I am like an hour later, I get a phone call from corporate, and I'm like, hey, this is Lifetime. He's like, yeah, hey, I heard it got kind of intense. I was like, yeah. He's like, you were permanently banned.
What? Just out of nowhere?
Lifetime. Yeah,
For
out
that?
of nowhere, for that. Like you were never allowed to step foot in any Lifetime. Your face is gonna be like, I mean, it like.
Oh my God.
What did you say to him, Jermaine?
It's like I hit a 3 to win the game and talk some
They
bitch.
called you next, the IRS is like,
Yeah, the Men in Black show
Yeah,
up.
yeah. So I was banned for like 3 months from Lifetime. It was supposed to be a lifetime ban, but like I'm like,
You were lifetime banned from Lifetime?
yeah.
Wow. You should have a shirt that say, I got lifetime banned.
man, yeah. So I finally get with the general manager on the phone, and I kind of like went up. He's like, I meet him. I kind of explained the situation. He's like, okay, I get it. Like I'm like, dude, all my friends, we play every Friday.
Yeah.
And I'm over here by myself. I went to a 24-hour fitness down the road. The rim was like 9 feet. Like it was terrible. And so he's like,
This is my only option.
Yeah. So I'm being like super nice. I'm like, bro, I will send you some ribeyes if you let
Yes,
me.
yes.
So he unbans me, right? I show up. That was like on a Wednesday. I show up Friday to play basketball. I'm like 5 minutes into the game. This new guy I've never seen before. We play with the same group of guys. And I'm like driving the lane, and I don't know what happened, but he like turned and hits me in the mouth with his elbow, splits my lip open. I had to like,
man.
I had been banned for 3 months. I split my lip open, have to get 13 stitches out of like a plastic surgeon.
13?
Yeah, they had a plastic surgeon had to come in like, because it was right on that edge. They
Yeah.
had to like come, like I drove to like 4 different hospitals to find a plastic surgeon where there was like light you could see through the
Oh
skin.
my gosh.
And I'm like, I call my wife, and she's like, what happened?
I'm
But she
permanently
knew.
banning myself from
Yeah, she
Lifetime.
knew. Yeah, so I didn't miss a week. I went back the next week with a bunch of
Stud.
stitches because I'm
I know one place.
Yeah.
I know one place you're not banned, and that's the
Yeah.
studio.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
That's exactly
I
right.
love it.
My friend
Dude.
Jermaine, it's always great to
Appreciate
see
it. Thank you, guys.
Good Ranchers, fantastic product, absolutely the best. We're excited to be able to keep partnering with them.
Yeah.
You need to go to goodranchers.com/booster. Check it out. Do you want to do the Carnivore Challenge with us in January? We're gonna make an announcement so you guys can follow as well. Jermaine, thanks again. Everybody at Good Ranchers, a fantastic product. Hope you guys have a great holidays. Eat some steak, eat some chicken, and the rest of the glorious menu that Good Ranchers has to send you. American source, and remember, you always have a great meal with Good Ranchers.